All right, so let's get right into it. Marvel Future Revolution has the potential to be one of the best mobile game releases I have seen. I have been doing mobile games for about 3 years now, full time, meaning like I literally only do mobile games as a living and that's it. And I pretty much know life. I just got an Android phone just so I can play during the months that it's in pre-launch. The Marvel Future Revolution on the couch, and while I'm in bed more. I've been no-lifing the game, meaning like 10 hours plus a day, because I'm taking this game fairly seriously, because I do believe it's going to be fairly large and successful, and I'm trying to get as informed as I can upon the game, be decent at the game when it comes to full global launch, as well as have a channel with guides and all the information, etc. So shout out if you want to sub. That's what this channel is about. We're only doing Marvel Future Revolution content and informed content on this channel. So here's kind of the issue with it. There's some glaring issues in the game that is going to flip the train of hype. So effectively, the train of hype is fairly decent on this game. There's a ketchup packet from McDonald's. Let's see if I can make it into the garbage bag from here. Close. So there's some issues currently in the game that are going to completely ruin the hype train when it comes out. And what I mean by that is, at the moment, the game is graphically one of the first games that's going to pull people away from these other games like Genshin Impact or Raid Shadow Legends, because it's one of the first games that graphically is competitive. It looks good. On top of it, it has one of the best IPs in the game. I mean, it's Marvel. The only thing that could compete with that is like Star Wars with this quality of gameplay at the moment. And they kind of are coming out with that, which we will talk about on a different channel later. So here's the deal. The game's going to be good, but the glaring issues are there. And the glaring issues, all it's going to take is like 2 or 3 YouTube videos from some big YouTubers that want to make a video about it. I mean, I could see somebody like Upper Echelon Gaming or something coming out with a video that gets almost 1 million views and have it be talking about how Marvel is a very predatory, pay-to-win, terrible, cancerous mechanic, and then just talk about some of the issues we're going to talk about in this video, and he wouldn't even be wrong. So what I do believe is that I'm going to lay out some reasoning why it's bad, both for PR to have the issues there are in the game, as well as it's going to ruin what would otherwise be a very profitable part of the game, because I personally know people that are approaching north of $50,000 spent in this game already. Yes, there are people like that out there, and it's not a shot at them. It's just some people have more money than you or me. Okay, that's just the reality of the way the world works. And so those types of people are spending less money because of these mechanics, and you're really missing out on overall more potential revenue generation. So for the people that this is an open letter, and it's going to be a longer video because I'm going to lay out all the reasons, and for the people that might eventually ever see this as feedback, please do listen to the reasons stated in this video, because it's not the first time I've been in a mobile game. It's not the first time I've helped generate money for a mobile game, and I do believe I've seen what is potentially a problem in your game ruin other games before. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so this game is essentially an MMO with the lifeblood of it being grinding. Anyone who argues that this game is not both an RNG plus grinding game, in my opinion, does not understand the game. And the reason is because either free to play or pay to play is going to come down to a bit essentially the same bottleneck. Okay, which it doesn't matter. You're going to hit the same bottleneck. And yeah, you can buy the crafting packs and all that, but it doesn't give you that much of it, okay? When you create these boxes, you're going to need these SIM particles, okay? Eventually, you're going to run out of these, because as a well, where do you get these? Special operations. You know how many times you can do special operations? Once a day. This is basically the most annoying thing to try to get, in my personal opinion, from what I've seen, okay? You get these, even if you're free to play, which then you can go out and you can grind badges by killing mobs and grind gold, dismantle those badges into these things, grind the small ones into the bigger ones, grind the materials from killing the mobs even, and then come back and create. And the reason you have to do this is because regional gear is essentially the only gear that matters. I mean, you can go ahead and 6-star other normal gear if you want, but the regional gear is going to end up replacing it anyway. So it's effectively a huge waste of resources unless you're trying to go for a reroll. And we're going to talk about why rerolling is one of the other issues in a moment. Okay, so you're going to run out of these particles, and it's just going to happen eventually, and you cannot get that many of them per day. Highly annoying. Other highly annoying issue that you're going to end up running into. And the other problem is you want people as a dev, you want people to be in your game grinding. I know you're probably worried about bots or something, just farming that, and then they just get all the gear for free. But you want people actively in the game playing, and instead, if you need to counter your mechanic of the autoing, but you want people in the game because the longer they're in the game, the more often they're going to spend money. You know this. This is a statistic, the audience retention statistic. The longer you have them on the hook, the more often they're going to spend cash and be more invested in your game. Okay, so it's beneficial for you to make it where we can farm those particles. Anyway, if somebody has a better method that I don't know about farming these things, that seems to be the biggest issue I have seen coming in the late game. Here's the other issue I run into, and this is definitely more of a well issue, okay? But this is going to drive away your heavy spenders and it stopped me from spending, okay? I had been in the couple gram region, and now I'm basically done because of this mechanic, all right? And I know other people who were spending thousands per day that are now done because of this mechanic. The fact is, we're not mad at the exclusive set staying. We don't, as a well, we understand the exclusive stat staying, okay? We can understand that mechanic. What we cannot understand is when you re-roll this with another 6-star on a different character, the exclusive stat staying again. This is not a fair mechanic. You have to understand it's a give and take with these things, okay? So think of it from a well perspective. We're going to have to re-roll the card, and our RNG is going to have to be on the quality, right? You have a system where it's a 1 to 7 quality of 6-star cards. So just to get that card on another character, we first have to get it to 6-star, and then if it rolled good quality and good stats, we still have to RNG those away again and be like, ah, crap, we lost those ones just to get that card onto another character. That's if you lock it to 6-star rerolls only. You get to grab all of that cash from people pulling Omega cards, crunching up to make 6 stars for the reroll just to get the card on a different character, because we have all of these useless cards. Like, it doesn't make sense, and people are gonna stop spending money because of this, guys. Look, like, here's the fact, okay? How many of these cards do I have? If I go here, look at this Black Widow. I have a Black Widow here that, look how good these stats are, right? Completely useless. It's completely useless, because if I bring that card and put it on my Spider-Man, who I would love to do, and it's not like I haven't spent a lot of money to get these cards, by the way, I did, and I roll it up, it's still going to be a storm stat. It's going to keep reloading. So you could get me on the hook for another $1,000 worth of Omega cards if you let me crunch these up to 6 stars and then re-roll this 6-star again on my Spider-Man. You would get me for way more cards, because then I would actually be chasing the very last card I want, which happens to in fact be Spider-Man. Look, here's the thing. I'm done drawing for cards because of this mechanic, but I would be willing to pull for Spider-Man right now and try to complete my set, as well as taking all of the duplicates and everything I get to crunch up my previous Black Widow or even the Star-Lord and Iron Man set. I don't want set 9 on this person. I do want set 9 on my Iron Man. Instead, it's just we're going to have completely useless duplicates, but that useless duplicate resource you could be getting people to convert into paying customers with. It is bad logic, the system you have. And you may think, well, we're just going to get people to well more. So they well for Omega cards on one and then the other, and it keeps them in the game longer. No, it's not going to work. Trust me, you're going to ruin your audience retention of wells. You're going to burn through people that collect cards on one character instead of all of them. Wells in this game are completionists. They're doing it for costumes. They're doing it for all the card sets. I know this for a fact, okay? So those wells will leave if the completionist cannot complete. You get your money from them when they buy every single product in your store. If somebody comes into your clothing store and they buy one of everything and you run out of stuff to sell them, that's a success, not a failure, okay? It doesn't mean you have to, well, sorry, you have to buy a random pack to see which shirt you get. It's just a bad way of doing business. So 100%, you have to fix this mechanic. Like, in my opinion, this is mandatory. This isn't even something that should be in the game as it is. I don't even know if this was a mistake by you guys. It was so greedy. When we were looking at it, we were thinking there's no way. We thought it was maybe tied to lead hero mechanic or something. The exclusive stat rose to your lead hero. That would make sense. You can pull on your main person, roll the exclusive stat for other people, and gamble then that you basically don't get the card you're trying to go for and you can get the RNG that way. No, it doesn't work that way. It works only the most greediest possible way you can possibly imagine, and absolutely that's disgusting. I mean, come on. You're going to get us on the hook for plenty of money. We're going to completion the costumes. This is the worst mechanic I've ever seen in any game. Okay, you have to fix this, like mandatory. Another crippling issue, especially for free-to-play people that don't have tons of resources. We currently in the game do not know what each stat does. We had a screenshot from a dev saying that accuracy actually increases your damage. Accuracy rate apparently increases your min-max roll damage as well as your min-max damage from the crits when they create damage. Something weird like that, okay? It doesn't make any sense, and if we're going to spend absolute gobbles of either cash, time, resources to reroll a 6-star by actually going and crunching up another 6-star and using it as a reroll, we need to know if we even have good stats on our gear. It's ridiculous there's not something in the game actually explaining the stats. Please, this is another like mandatory thing before release. You can't expect people to realistically spend time, effort, and money building out a set and then not even know if the bonuses they're getting is even a good thing. Another massive issue. Look what I have. Midgardia helmet, chest, gloves. You know what I'm missing? The boots. You know the only way to get the boots? I either row continually over and over and over again in the costume draws, or I row the regional boxes, which we already talked about why there's an issue with getting boxes because of Sin Particles, and hope for the boots. Okay, well, it's a gacha and that's the in-game grind. Maybe we can excuse that. You know what is really frustrating is when you actually do get the piece, the customization is random. I can't actually get the costume I want even if I have the faux set. Let me give you an example. Let me go down here. Okay, let's go to, what is it, Midgardia or something here. Queen Wakanda 80s, Goddess of Thunder, Sakara. Here's Midgardia. Look, I've got a 3-piece Midgardia piece, but look at the one. I got random pieces. I've got just this one of this one. I've got 3 of these ones, but not the boots. So even if I had the complete set, I won't actually have the complete set. Like I'm going to have random colors of it. So even if I got a good roll on my helmet, like let me show, even if I got a good roll on this, I'm going to have to either re-roll this helmet again just to get the costume piece, or hope I get another one of the same helmet and crunch that all the way up just to try to get the costumes. So as somebody who's trying to get a look, it's almost impossible to get the look you actually want. And I would think that this would be fine if there was any way of re-rolling cosmetically the items separate from the stats. But there isn't that I know about. Maybe this is something they're planning on with Omega points, but I almost hope it isn't. Because the Omega points that you get from spending entirely too much money in this game, and look, I've got 2,600 of them, absolutely have to be used on a mileage system. This is one of the only games I've seen where it's extremely expensive with no sense of a mileage system, meaning when you get 100 pose, you get a guaranteed something. I went 80 costume pose in a row, 80 in a row with only blues on the Spider-Man, okay? Only blues. I was mind blown. My stream was mind blown. When we pulled the purple on the 90th pull, it felt like Christmas morning. And I was like, that is still terrible. I just pulled 90 pulls and the Omega points don't even do anything yet. So the Omega points absolutely have to be used to either unlock Omega cards and then can be transferred. Even that's fine. If we have to use the mileage points to unlock the Omega cards and use those exclusive stats on different characters and you want to screw us that way, even that's fine. Okay, but you have got to fix the problem of no pity where you can go 90 poses in a row with one purple. Come on. Like 90, you should guarantee a gold. 50, guarantee a gold. It doesn't even have to guarantee a regional, but you should guarantee a gold. I mean, that's ridiculous. It honestly is. And you should be able to reroll the costume looks without rerolling your stats somehow. And you should absolutely be able to unlock your Omega cards, maybe using Omega points. Okay, that's a give me suggestion. But those issues, you fix the ones I mentioned. I don't think your revenue goes down. I think it goes up because I think the WoWs, myself included, who are spending large amounts of money, at the end of it, we're going to look and say, okay, there's some give and take there. Right now, it just looks like take. It doesn't look like there's much wiggle room in the in-game of spending. And there's not even any real pack offers. I mean, after Squad Rank 100, there's nothing to buy. Like, it's just the weeklies and monthlies. And even those kind of feel bad. And you're not doing any flash sales. So the monetization of it right now is just really rough. Maybe that's what you're testing before soft launch. I don't know, but it needs to be slightly different. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments, or like the video or share the video, I suppose, and that will probably help let me know that, yeah, people agree with this. But you fix that, we got a great game, guys.